You guys know from my last speech, I'm a car fanatic, and these are my mechanics gloves, and this is a air intake filter. And today, I'm gonna be going through preparation for the install and the actual install of the new intake and the uninstallation of the old one, and of course the third the third step, which is my favorite, which is the test drive. And the first thing you have to do with preparing your car is make sure you park on a level surface because you don't want to risk rolling back while you're doing the install. And also disconnect the negative battery. And if your car has been running for 2 hours prior to, you should let it cool down first, and make sure you double check you have all the parts and all the tools to do the install, because I've done installs where in the middle of installing I don't have a part or I don't have a certain tool, and we have to like drop everything and run to Pep Boys and grab a freaking rubber grommet for for the intake. So to start with the uninstallation of the stock airbox, first you need to remove all the bolts that hold the intake in place, and then you have to start loosening the hose clamps, which is this thing right here. And after you do that, you can start removing all the hoses that connect the stock airbox to the intake manifold and the engine. And after that, you could remove the oxygen sensor, which is this thing right here. And then after you're done with all that, you could install your new intake, which is you have to assemble your intake first, which includes connecting connector hoses, hose clamps, thermal valve hoses, and rubber grommets for the O2 sensor. And and after that, you could connect the actual intake to the intake manifold. And then after you connect the actual intake to intake manifold, you just start securing all of these. Make sure that they're tight. Make sure all the bolts that hold the actual intake in place are tight. And then after that, you could connect the actual O2 sensor to the intake, and you can reconnect the battery. And then after the intake is fully installed, let the engine run for a few minutes to reset your system so you could detect your new intake. Because after after installing a new intake, the system is different. You need to reset it so then it detects it, so then it knows that your car has more power now, and the airflow is going to be a lot greater. And and this is the time to make any adjustments. If your intake is kind of bulky, you might need to make room for hood clearance. So you just need to adjust it a little bit. And then the last part is going for a test drive. And usually, if you don't have the means of going to a track to test out your car, or going to a dyno, which is measuring the horsepower and torque of your car, I usually just go straightaways. There's long straightaways by Juno, so or Hamul and all that stuff. So yeah. So if you guys need to do that, and then yep. So just remember, you gotta prep, then do the actual install, and then go for a test drive.